All right, so today we are going to continue looking at our problem-solving strategy to help us better understand and be more successful with word problems. So who can remember the problem-solving strategy that we used yesterday? Who can remember that problem-solving strategy from yesterday? Raise your hand if you can remember. M? Cubes. Yes. Cubes. So, we circled key numbers. We underlined the question. We, yes, boxed key or clue words. We evaluated and eliminated. And then we solved and showed our work. All right, so cubes, circle, underline, box, evaluate, solve. So if we use this strategy, this can greatly help us to understand what the problems, the word problems are asking us. All right, so I'm going to take a look at an example from yesterday. Not an example from yesterday, an example for today. And we're going to take a look and we're going to practice our problem-solving strategy. So I'm going to come down here to number 14. And number 14 says, a scout troop with 7 members earns $1,245 to spend on a camping trip for 4 nights. They buy $112 of camping gear for each person and $43 of food for each person. How much money does the scout troop have left? All right, so first I'm going to go through and circle all my important numbers. So we've got 7 members. They earned this much money for 4 nights. They buy $112 of camping gear and $43 of food. That's all of my numbers. Now I'm going to underline what is it asking. It's asking how much money does the scout troop have left. Now I need to box my key or clue words. Good call. Yeah, good call. Okay, it's recorded.
Have left is a clue word for subtraction.
It sure is. Have left is a clue word for subtraction.
I thought the word's up there.
Yes.
Also, you can shut up as well.
Y'all know it's recording, and I will be glad to send this to parents who need to hear their students telling other students to shut up.
That's what he just told me. You told me first, so you can't be told. You said it first. I didn't say it first, you both said it. Break it up. That means you too.
It's the smart one.
It's broken. It doesn't want to work for you.
There we go. Sure didn't. All right. So they spent $1,245. They didn't spend that much. That's how much they earned. Sorry, I had to refocus my brain. Now I'm back onto boxing in my key words. So I heard several people telling me that each is a clue word that tells us to multiply. Here's another each telling us to multiply. And that absolutely have left is one that's telling us to subtract.
So we multiply 2 times it, subtract what time?
Okay, so now we're going to go back through and we're going to evaluate. And we're going to see what is it asking me to multiply and what is it that I'm going to need to subtract. So this is where the evaluate part comes in.
112 times 4.
So, 7 members. I keep noticing when I'm looking at the word each, it's talking about each person. Each person. And how many people do we have? 7. So that's what I'm actually going to be multiplying by. Because it's talking about each person. So I needed to find out the number of people, which is 7. And they're going to buy $112 of camping gear for each person. 2 times 7, 14. 1 times 7 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. 1 times 7 is 7. So they're going to spend this much money on camping gear.
That's not it.
And then, absolutely right, that is not it. They also are going to spend $43 of food for each person. $43 of food for each person. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 29, 30. So, now it's asking me, let's see, I've talked about the 7 members. I've talked about $112. Talked about $43. Okay, so let me reevaluate. It earns this much money to spend. They spend this much for the camping gear. They're spending this much on the food. How much do they have left? So was there anything I needed to, did I need to eliminate any information? Was there anything that I don't need? Do we need that about they're going for 4 nights? No, so that number 4, I don't need to work with. Because nothing in this problem is telling me that I need to focus in on that number 4. So now I need to find out how much total money they spent. So to find the total they spent, yes, I'm going to add. So total spent, to do that, 784 plus 301. $1,085 is how much they spent. But that's not what it's asking. It's asking how much they have left. So I'm going to take that $1,245 and subtract $1,085 from it. So I can't say 4 minus 8. I'm going to have to say 14 minus 8, which is, good, 6. And then 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 minus 1 is nothing. So how much do they have left? $160. So that's how much they have left out of all that money. So they went camping for 4 days, and they got $160 left.
$160. Camping is actually pretty expensive.
Yeah. All right, so today, as you're working through your word problems, I want you to practice the cubes, looking for those key numbers, underlining the question, boxing in the key words, evaluating what it's asking, and then showing your work. To the person who asked me, do you have to do that? I mean, really the choice is ultimately yours, but don't ask me for help if you're not willing to help yourself first.
I know the multiplication charts.
They're over here. And you are welcome to use one if you need one. Okay, so, Kanaya.
I'm not trying to do this.
Good. I'm so glad. All right, so I'm going to hand out your paper to my people who are virtual. I am putting up an assignment in just a moment. So, happy word probleming.